Hey guys, gals, what's up? It's NihonTiger. Welcome to Project Cars, and today we are at Spa. It's a Belgian Grand Prix weekend, so I thought I would race Spa, talk a little bit about the course, and we are in the Audi R18. Normally this would be something I would run at Le Mans or another track like that. Whoop. Whoop, whoop. Can't get a little too crazy there, but there we go. Got a nice lead out here. But Spa does have its fair share of races. Of course, the 24-hour Spa is here. And there's Spa 1000 kilometer race is also done for GT cars. So I wanted to take these bad boys out on one of the toughest tracks and see how they operated. So if you'll excuse me here, I think this is my teammate. Nope, that's another guy. Oh, okay. But yeah, the R18, the Audi R18 is a car you've probably seen if you watched the 24 Hours of Le Mans this year. You probably saw this car. It is Audi's LMP1 prototype. And in fact, the #1 car, which is #1 because it's the defending race champion. But yeah, Audi generally performs very well in the endurance racing world. They don't do a whole lot of races, but when they do race, they usually win. But let's talk a little bit about Spa, because I think that's really what we're here for, rather than just, hey, we're here at Spa to do the race and whatever, blah, 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 in Audi. So Spa is a very technical and tricky track, and it's technical not so much because the turns are bad, but because it's such a high-speed track that if you, one false step can just kind of screw you over like that. And I'm surprised we didn't take any damage there. Surprised we did not take any damage. So, here we go. Caught the curve there. We're fine. We'll catch this guy. I'll accelerate him going out of the corner, going down to La Source. So, yeah, let's do a quick lap of the track here. We got 5 laps, so I can talk a little bit about the track itself on this lap, and then we'll talk a bit about the history as well. So here we are coming down the GT straight.
You're leading by 1 second. Good job.
That's Eau Rouge, is the left-hander, and Radion, the right-hander up the hill to the Camel Straight, which is this big long straight here. These used to be curves, but they straightened them out. It used to be the Camel curves way back in the day. And then this right-left combination is Le Combe. So it's a turn that takes you onto the actual short circuit, the newer circuit, I guess you could call it. And down here to, I think this is how you pronounce it, Bruxelles. I don't know how to pronounce it in Belgian, but it's Brussels in Belgium. So come down here into this corner. I think the next one is Pohon, which is this left corner up here. I'm looking off my notes, my track map as I'm going through this. And this up here, I know this one. This is Campus. This right and then to the left is Campus. Oh. I'm kind of smoking these guys. Maybe I should have made the difficulty a little bit harder. I guess not. This is Stavelo, this right-hander right here. And another right-hander. And then this long straight here leads to a very fast, very fast, the one where we wiped out a second ago. That's Blanchimont, I believe, or Blanchimont, I'm not sure. This one right here, this is the turn. And, screeching. We've got the bus stop chicane right up here. Brake for it, okay. Made it. To the bus stop chicane. There we go. And then obviously this tight hairpin up here at the top of the track is La Source, which is the first turn for the Grand Prix race that you'll see this weekend, but the last turn if you're racing in the 24 hours or the 1,000 kilometer race, because their start-finish line is right up here. So a little bit about the track. It was first, oh god, it sounds hideous. I'm like dragging the splitter as I'm going up Radion there. But the track itself was conceived and first race on 1920s. 1922 was the first race. And
You're leading by 5 seconds. Good gap. Good
the
job.
track was much, much larger than it is right now. This is a pretty big track. I think it's 4 kilometers, or like 4.1 kilometers right now. The original track was 15 kilometers, and this was created back in the day when, I mentioned this during Watkins Glen a little bit, but tracks used to be all on public roads. There were no really specially built tracks at a time in the world. It was all just public roads, and Spa for a very long time was just on public roads. It was open to pretty much anyone who wanted to drive it up until about 2000. They finally closed it off. So yeah, very interesting track, and the old track still exists. It still is in existence, and as we drive around here, I'll show you kind of where the local roads used to connect to, and they've done a pretty good job of blocking them off from the racetrack, but they still exist. If they got rid of the barriers, okay, let off the gas a little bit there. Metal screeching sound hurts my ears, but they still do have connections to all of the old track. They haven't actually destroyed any of the road. It's all still there, but you just can't get to it anymore. So one of the places that you used to be able to get to the road from is right up here at the source. Right behind that barrier, you can see those houses. Those are actual houses that people live in. And there's a road that's back there. And then you used to be able to go right up the hill here.
That's the fastest lap of the race. Great lap.
And then part of the track goes off to the left, and it comes back on like right there. You can see where those trucks were very briefly. The safety trucks. That's actually a small road that used to be part of the track before they built the Rodéon Hill. And then right up here, if I go straight, you can see the runoff there. If I go straight, oh, actually I'm gonna jump the curb. If I go straight right there, you can see it goes outside of the track. That's actually a road that leads to the old circuit. And the old circuit was incredibly, incredibly dangerous because you were driving through towns. It is notorious for being unsafe. People would routinely go flying off the road, land in other people's houses and their barns, end up in ditches in the middle of fields. And there were many, many, many fatalities. And part of the modern push for F1 safety actually began at Spa. Jackie Stewart, the great Scottish driver and world champion, managed to eventually, over many years' time, it took him a long while to be able to do it, but around the 1970s, he finally got most of the drivers to agree to boycott Spa unless they changed it. And so eventually what happened was they just moved the race.
You're leading by 7 seconds. We're
right
in a good
here.
place. Keep it up.
Right here on the left, that's where the old track kind of comes back in and connects up to Blanchimont. Right up here, Blanchimont. So, yeah, most of this part right here, this is all old track, all old road that they've obviously redone. And there you go. Like I mentioned before, the bus stop chicane is called the bus stop chicane because it used to be a bus stop when it was a public road. But yeah, Jackie Stewart, very, very influential in getting safety regulations improved for Formula One because it used to be a very, very, very dangerous sport. A lot of fatalities and injuries. And Spa was one of the most notorious for this, both for F1 and for even endurance racing like this.
Strong pace. Great job.
Yep. So the old track, used to go through towns, and they got rid of most of that. And so now it just is this shorter circuit. And for a couple of years they tried to get around it by going to other circuits and being like, oh, well, we just won't race at Spa. We'll just go to Zolder or other circuits in Belgium and race there. But eventually those other circuits kind of were not as good as Spa was, and they decided to redo it in the 1980s, and it's essentially the same configuration today. There's been some changes. They made some changes over the years to the circuit, but by and large, the circuit that we're racing on today is the same redesign they came up with in the 80s, and I think it's better. Not only because it's a shorter circuit, and really, Le Mans is kind of the last of its breed of the big long circuits, the big long high-speed circuits, and I certainly think that's a good thing because the tracks of today are much safer, and you still have the risk of fatalities, of course, just with the amount of speed that you're taking through this course, but it's far better. It's far better to race. It's far safer than it was, and Spa's history plays a big part in that. And you know, it took them a while to kind of. I think I know it's. I think that's just the plate striking the car. And I don't know why I have to brake there, and the AI doesn't. They don't seem to have to brake going through Blanchimont. There we go. Coming up here. So there's the pit entrance, and then the pit exit is on the other side of La Source up here. You can see people. Hello, people. And this must be some great Airbnb houses right there. Come on down here to the finish line. And got it. Nicely done. Just such an awesome track to race on. But there we go. We won by a lot. Very nicely done on the race. So actually, you know what? I'm going to go ahead, and I don't normally do this, but I'm going to go ahead and we're going to go take a look at some of the cool little things around here. So I'll be right back. Alright, so here we are, working on pit road, and I was mistaken. I was in a number 2 car, not the number 1. A little bit different there, but yeah, the number 1 is the defending championship car. So number 2 is just the teammate car. Here we go. Manual control. We're going to take a quick run around here, take a look at some of the cool little things that I pointed out. So right up here on the left, you can kind of see there's a road that goes off there, and they have actually one down the hill. So the road goes off to the left there, and it joins back up on the left side up here. And that actually goes around there's a creek, Eau Rouge, or Eau Rouge, I guess I should say. So Eau Rouge is actually the name of the creek that's. No, not backwards. So Eau Rouge is actually named a creek that flows down there. I don't think you can see it. I think it goes under the track, but the road right there on the left actually is what goes around the creek. There's a crossing a little further up, and that was actually the first thing that they cut out was that hairpin, and they just made the straight path up the hill instead. So, as I mentioned, coming up to Le Cône, up right here. If I go straight, you can see there is a barrier that I can't go through it. You can see the road. There's a little gate right there, and oh look, there's some dudes hanging out. Hey dudes, how you doing? How you doing with your little recovery vehicles there? So you can see, yeah, there's a little road here. There's a gate. It's very cool. On that road out there where those people are standing actually leads out to the old track. So that's, if you're wondering where the track used to run through, it runs out that way along a bunch of public roads. And yeah, it's fairly nice. I wish on some hands, on one hand, oh, actually you can see from the top here. I'm gonna pull over here real quick, but you can see that's the right down there where the buildings are off there in the distance. That's actually the start finish line area. So we are on top of a hill. If we would like to stop moving, let's see if we can get over here in this little area. Yeah, you can see out there at the top of the hill there. I don't know if that's actually rendered in the game or if it's just a background from up here, but that's the pit straight, and that's the front stretch stands right from on top of this hill. So yeah, there's a lot of up and down when you're racing through Spa. You go up and you go down, You can see it right there too. I bet that's actually the renderer in the game. I don't think that's a background. Probably not with modern technology. You can see there's a lot of big tall hills around here too. So yeah, I kind of wish on one hand that we could race the old circuit, but I also know at 15 kilometers that would be almost too much to ask for, you know, the Project Cars guys to actually put together. So we're gonna come right over here, and I wonder if I can see it. Oh, other way. There should be a go-kart track to the infield here. There's a go-kart track right here on your campus that is in the infield. I wonder if you can see it. I wonder if they modeled it in the game. I don't think they did. But yeah, as I mentioned, the track, the old track. So does it just say Tracks Medical Center? Really, a little lazy, but I will accept it. I guess I really don't have a choice. But right here, where these guys are hanging out, you can see there's a road. Oh, can I just get into position? Yeah, that road right there where that gate is actually the old way that used to come back out of town, which I think the town's name is also Stavalo or Stavelot. I think that's why that turn is named what it is. You just come out of town, come flying up the hill. The creek also runs alongside of this road, and you used to come flying up from here and go straight into this section. I wonder if it's on the right, the kart track. Can we see it? Is it in the game? Yeah, there it is right there. So yeah, go-kart track. So there's a go-kart track for those of you wondering. In Project Cars, it's kind of sad that it's not an actual track that you can race on. That would be great if you could actually race the Spa go-kart track. I think that would be really fun. But I guess they either can't get it to work or don't have the license for it. So coming up here, the bus stop chicane, the way it used to be, was this was actually a left and then a right, but they changed it, I think, to a right and a left. And so there's pits, there's the pit lane. You can see some stuff on top of the hill there. You can see where we were. I think you can see where we were. It's behind that sign, it looks like. Let's see if we can see it, maybe. This is why I'm doing this in practice. Yeah, you can see the top of the hill up there. That's where we were before when we were pointing out down here. And you can see there's the pit box and straight. So it does look like it's all one big map, which is awesome. I'm gonna come down here, all clear. Alright, so got a couple houses up here. We're gonna go straight here at La Source. Take it slow. Got all these people hanging out. So you can see there's a barrier up here. But I don't know if you can see it. Oh yeah, there's just a little fence. And there you can see the houses are a little blocky. You can see that there is, oh, come on. There is a road that leads to kind of another gate for the circuit. And that's also actually a public road. So that's normally something that people drive on. That used to connect right here, but it doesn't anymore. So that's that. That's really kind of the, oh, there's a couple other gates too. I think those lead to parking. But yeah, really that's kind of the long and short of Spa, where everything kind of meets up with the old track and the new track. It's pretty cool. It's a really interesting track. And there's another pit entry there. So we will complete a lap. Yeah, now we're on the clock. Alright, so that's about it for my Spa kind of special. I'm going to go race this a little bit more. Oh, and I'm going to spin out. But thank you for watching, guys. Hope you've enjoyed this. Hope you've learned a little bit something. And I will see you soon once again around the track.